Hello, this is Paulet Downey, and I am back again with a makeup minute. So I thought I was going to be doing a skincare one, but you know what? Makeup one came to my mind, and so I'm going to talk about another one of my favorite makeup um, makeup things, makeup, how it can be the science of makeup that I really like and I really enjoy, and something that I learned also through trial and error. It seems like the ones that I learned through trial and error, yes, they were the most difficult, but those ones were the ones that brought me most pleasure because they brought me, in the end, the most education about makeup. Lipstick, like I said, is one, and red lipstick in particular. The other one, so this would be like my top two. I do have those supporting makeup, you know, like characters, I want to call them in makeup, like supporting makeup. Um, that I like. I like the supporting ones as well, very, very much. But this one is foundation. Like lipstick, there is, and especially like red lipstick, there is a science to foundation and finding the right foundation for you. So I'm going to talk a bit about, how you do that. And if I feel led, then I'll talk about the different types of foundation. I really want to just, really hone in on, how you go out there as a consumer, as an individual, when you're looking for foundation. I want to try and equip you with information that will help you find the right color for your skin. So similar to lipstick, you got your categories of foundation as well, and so again, you can look at your veins to find out the coloring of the veins. If it's blue, then that's going to be more of a cool color. If it's kind of like uh, a green blue, then that's going to be neutral, and if the veins are green, then that is a warm, undertone of skin, something more yellow to the skin. Another really good way to indicate what what foundation is right for your skin, or what color you fall under, like which category of undertones you fall under, is by simply putting on certain colors. So people who look good in silver tend to have cool undertones. So that's normally what you will find with somebody who has a cool skin tone. They tend to look good in silver, like silver jewelry, or like silver clothing. So for the cool, like if you have a cool undertone, silver is going to look good on you. If you have a neutral undertone, then gold and silver will look good on you. You look good in either of those. If your undertone is warm, then you're going to tend to look good in gold. And usually you'll find, not in all cases, but in most cases, that somebody who has a warm undertone usually does not look good in silver, or they can't really pull it off the way they can pull gold off. They may look okay in it, but they don't look as good in wearing like silver jewelry as, say, when they wear gold jewelry, and vice versa for someone with a cool undertone. They may look okay wearing gold, but silver tends to stand out on them more. It tends to complement the complexion and their skin more so than gold. And of course, with the neutral, both both types of jewelry or colorings are going to look good on you. So that's another way of gauging, or finding out, discovering what your undertone, your skin undertone is. So when you are looking to match foundation for your skin. Normally, okay, first of all, what you want to do is always, 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 when looking for a foundation, you always want to, and I mean, this is, how can I put it? Like, this is the norm. This does not say that you have to follow this guideline. This is for somebody who maybe is not comfortable with applying foundation and they want to do it the correct way. And they're not used to applying foundation on their skin on a regular basis, or they really just don't know how to do it. One thing about makeup is there really is, how can I put it? There is a right way to do things, but there really aren't wrong ways in a lot of cases, or in some cases. There are correct ways, but you know what? With makeup, you can have fun with it. You can do things that are, not of the norm if it works for you. So if it works for you and if it looks good on you, you can like step out of that boundary, so to speak. But for someone who is really just trying to learn how to apply makeup the correct way, or learn how to match the correct foundations to their skin, then this is the guideline that is for you. So when you are looking for a foundation, you always, like, if you can't find, like, after you've discovered what your undertone is, okay, once you discover what your own undertone is, and say your undertone is neutral, like say it's a neutral undertone. So now you're going to look for a neutral undertone in your skin complexion. So now if you can't find if you can't find the complexion that is right for your skin, like the one that is right on, because sometimes, like, depending on the brand, and I mean there are so many brands out there, and there are so many brands with so many ranges and foundations. So really and truly, you're not going to have too much of a difficult time finding one. But say you like one particular brand, and that does happen, where you like that particular brand, you like the way the foundation feels, you like the texture of it, you like how it looks on your skin, but it doesn't quite match your complexion. So what you normally are going to do is you're going to get a foundation that is one shade lighter than your natural skin tone. So you always get a foundation that is one shade lighter. So why is that? Why would you not get one that is one shade darker? And don't get me wrong, there are quite a few people out there who go 1-2 shades darker because that's what they want. But the principle in putting foundation on is normally you go one shade lighter. Why that is because once you apply your foundation on, so once you put your primer on, which is very, very important, and so once you apply your primer, then you put your foundation on. The things that you apply on your face afterwards are going to bring up the color. So it's going to actually help to darken your complexion, bringing it close to your natural complexion. So once you have the foundation on, and then like you may apply a powder, and the powder will probably most likely be close to your complexion. Then you're going to apply a bronzer. Depending, some people, they like to use contour. So once you apply or I should say the contour and the bronzer. So once you apply contouring and bronzer, you are then bringing the color up close to, if not at, your natural skin care, your skin coloring. So that is the reason, and that is the theory behind why you would go one shade lighter than your skin, because what you apply on your skin afterwards is going to bring that color up to your natural skin color. So you put your contouring on if you do that. You're going to put your blush or your bronzer on. And then, like things like your blush and your highlighter, like all these things are going to help to bring the foundation that you have on your skin. It's going to actually give your skin more color, especially the bronzer. So it's actually going to help to bring the complexion of how your skin looks up. And that's what you want to do. Whereas if you wear a foundation that say is one shade darker, and a lot of people do this. A lot of people do this. This is something that they prefer. But then what you apply on afterwards, then that is going to make your skin appear darker than what it is. And some people want their skin to appear darker. But for most people do want a foundation that matches their natural skin coloring. So if you're in that category, if you're in that category and you cannot find a foundation that matches your skin complexion to a T, then you are going to want to get a foundation that is one shade lighter. Everything else is going to bring your complexion up to your natural coloring, your natural skincare. Your natural. You see, I'm so used to talking about skincare. Now this is all I can say: skincare, skincare, skincare. But your natural skin tone, your natural skin coloring, your complexion. So it's going to bring it up to close to your complexion or your natural complexion or at your complexion. So that's why you want to do. That's why you want to do that. So now with trying to find the right foundation for your skin, what you're going to do is you're going to take like 3 foundations that are close to your skin color. And so normally what you're going to do is you're going to do that on your chin. So you're going to take 3 of them and you're going to do like swatches on your cheek. So you do swatches, and then by doing the swatches, you can easily tell which one is more suited to your skin color. What I would do, like for me, like if I'm I will do swatches when I'm looking for a foundation for a customer. So when I'm looking for a foundation for a customer, I will do swatches because their cheek is in front of me. I get to see, the angle of their cheek, perfectly. So I can do the swatches and then determine what color foundation is right for them. But if you are doing this on your own, maybe what you want to do is you can do it on your cheek. Your chest is probably the best place to do it because the chest is really the coloring of your chest is like whatever foundation matches your chest is the foundation that you should be applying to your skin. So so you could do it here, but of course, like if I'm working with a customer, I'm not going to apply it on their chest. There have been a few, because I know them well, and they're comfortable with me. So for a few of them, yes, I have actually applied it on their chest, but for most, I have normally applied it on their cheek, and then from there, I am able to discover for myself to see which one is right for them, and then I also ask them which one do they think is right for them as well, because I want them also to feel comfortable with the shade that they're going to purchase. And so, but for yourself, you can do that, but I think, so that you can see it directly, like straight on, as opposed to, going to the side. You can do that. Like you can, apply it on your cheek and then, look in the mirror to see, which one is more suited to you, depending on which beauty shop you're at and the mirrors, like how the mirrors are situated. But if you do it on your chest, it's easier simply because like you're looking straight at it. Like it's just, like when you look in the mirror, then, your chest is there, and then you can just do You can do the swatches on your chest, and it's right there, and it's easy for you to see and easy for you to gauge. So actually doing it on your chest is the best way to discover what foundation is right for your skin. This is, of course, after you've discovered or you figured out what your undertone is. If you are having difficulty with figuring out your undertone, of course, then get maybe, like, because you're going to have, like, many of the brands out there do have 3 ranges. Like, they actually do have the cool, the neutral, and the warm shades. Some they may have 2, like they may have 3, but they will, like, it's kind of like sporadic, like it's kind of like spread out. So like I find, like, with some of them, they'll have like one color, say one coloring, and then they'll have it cool in that color, neutral, and then warm. So say it's number 6, for example. So they'll have number 6 cool, they'll have number 6 neutral, they'll have number 6 warm. So that makes it easier for you. But most of the brands, they don't have that. Most of the brands, what they will have is something like, I'm just trying to say something like 125 cool, and then something like 126 neutral, 127 warm. Like, it'll be something like that. It depends. There's so many brands out there with so many different types of foundations out there. So depending on the brands and how their numbering system goes, it can be quite confusing to the consumer who really does not know what foundation they're looking for and what undertone they are. So that's why it is so important to know what your undertone is before shopping for foundation. Always know what your undertone is, then that makes it a lot easier. I know that for myself, when I've gone shopping for foundations, and you're dealing with the different numbers. So you've got the 125 in cool, and then you have like 127 in warm, and 126 in neutral, and you're trying to figure out, okay, which one is okay. Like, I mean, I know what coloring I am. I know what my undertone is, but even though I know what my undertone is, sometimes, even though, like, I know what my undertone is, but sometimes, depending on the brand, the undertone that I am, for that brand, it won't work for me. For that brand, I will actually have to move over to another undertone. So, for example, like, I'm warm. Like, my undertone is warm. So normally I would buy, foundations with a warm undertone. But depending on the brand, sometimes I've had to buy neutral, simply because buying the warm was too dark, or buying the warm was too light. And so, but having an understanding, like knowing, okay, my skin it's warm, so normally I'm going to look for warm. So I, go towards the warm. And if I try on something that is warm and I find it's too dark, then I go down one in warm, and then that one's too light. So I've got one too light, one too dark, but at the same time, I like this particular foundation from this brand. So I want this foundation from this brand, but I can't use the warms in that they are offering me for my skincare, like for my complexion. So for my complexion, and the warms don't work for me. So now I have to figure out, okay, there's going to be something here that's going to work for me, because the warms aren't working. They're not working. I am a warm, but for this particular brand and for what they're offering me, one's too light and one's too dark. So then I have to go to a neutral. And so I will find that the neutral will work for me. So depending on the brand, like the guideline is, like I said, with the veins, like I said, with the coloring of jewelry, Normally, whatever it is for each of us, that's where our undertone lies. But it doesn't mean it's going to be 100% for every brand. But in general, that's where it's going to lean. Like it's going to lean about 80%. 80% in that area where, okay, silver looks good on you and you have blue veins. So you're going to get like 80% of the times when you go shopping for foundation, you are going to find a foundation that has a cool undertone. 80% of the times you're going to find that. But there are going to be some times where the blue or where the cool it may not work for you. It may not work. So you may have to move to a neutral. And that's same for someone who has warm undertones. 80% of the time, in most cases, the warm will work for you. But there are going to be some times where the warm is just, it's too warm. It's either too dark or it's either too light. And you will have to go to a neutral in order for you to get the foundation color that matches you and that looks right on you. So, but in most cases, like the categories that you fit into are the undertone that you are, and the category of like foundation or lipstick or whatever that you would go for. So, but there are those cases, and I've had, like, not a lot of them, but I have had a few where I actually had to purchase a neutral foundation because the warm wasn't working for me. The cool's not going to work for me because that's not my undertone. That's just another extreme from what I am. But I had to, in some cases, get a neutral foundation from a particular brand because I like the brand and I actually want it from that brand. So I would have to go with a neutral foundation. So that's another way. So like if you want the brand, you like the texture, you like the name, you like everything about that particular brand, but you're not finding that the undertone that you are is working, then you're going to have to switch over to another undertone because depending on the brand, they only offer so many colors of foundation. So that's another thing. So one, you're going to go lighter if you can't find the color that you are looking for. B, you are going to go to an undertone that normally is not for you if the undertone that you are is not working for you. So if the colors or the foundations that are your undertone aren't working for you, then you are going to go to the next undertone. For your skin, the next undertone in that whole category of, undertones for foundations. So yes, so that's another way of finding. It's so complex when foundation. It's so hard. Like to get the science down of really matching the foundation to your skin. But once you get this formula and you really understand your skin, like your skin undertone and your complexion, then it gets easier and it can actually be quite fun. And that was another one, like the lipstick. It was really a lot of trial and error, like making a lot of mistakes, giving customers a lot of foundations that were completely wrong for your skin. And they coming back telling me this isn't working, and really just working through it and just learning through trial and error, and really just, it's something that it's a skilled thing that to become really aware of the undertones and the coloring and how that works for an individual. Also with foundations, and I'll just I'll go into this. I'm looking at my time here. I've talked a lot on this foundation here. But foundation is a big one, or color matching using foundation. So also depending, like if you're depending on the texture that we are talking about when we're talking about foundation. So we have the compacts, we have the creams that come in the compacts. We have those, and then we have the powdered creams, and we have the cream, like foundation, like the liquid foundation, the cream, and then we have like the regular liquid one. Then we have the water base. And so there's so many different types of foundations that are out there, and that can also make a difference depending on the texture and the consistency of the foundations. Can make a difference in how they show up on your skin as well. But when we are and when we're getting more into like those compacts, then it becomes less selective. Like you don't have as many. You don't have as many to choose from, even though like some brands they have a lot, but you still don't have as many to choose from. So really, it's a matter of just trying to like I said, knowing your undertone is probably, I think, is the most important, to know your undertone, because once you know your undertone, then it's easy to figure out what color is right for you. Like if you know that you are neutral, then okay, the complexion part, like you can just look at the array of foundations that are being presented, and then like go from the colors that are close to your skin, and then start swatching on your skin to figure out which one is most appropriate for you. But the undertone is probably the most important. So that's why it's so important to know your undertone, and then go from there. But with saying that, and it's going to be about 80% of the times that you're going to hit it, but there are going to be some times, depending on the brand, where the undertone that you are will or should I say the foundations, depending on the brand, the foundations that they are offering will not match your undertone. So you will normally have to go one up or one down. And I'm trying to think, like for neutral, obviously it could be either or. I've had some people who actually had neutral skin, and they would have to go warm. Depending, they like that foundation, they like the particular feel, and so they would have to actually go warm for that particular brand, or go cool, but they are a neutral. Their coloring is neutral for the particular brand that they want to purchase. The neutral is not working for them, and then sometimes there are some brands that just they don't offer all of those. Like they'll offer more cools, or they'll also offer more cool and warm, but they won't offer a lot of neutrals. Like they'll offer more of some undertones than other undertones, and so then again, but if you like the brand, you like the texture, you like how it feels, you like how it looks, then it's a matter of like really experimenting, because they don't have that kind of selection where they are offering enough of each of the undertones to help complement your skin, your complexion, and your skin. So yes, so you have those, and there's so much with foundations that I could go on, but really and truly, I just wanted to start with matching, because that is the most important part. That really is the science. I mean, the science of foundation is probably the most important thing that you're going to need to know in order to get the foundation that is right for your skin. You're going to need that. Like you're going to actually need that in order to make the right purchase for your skin. After that, then the cream, and then like just the liquid and the water-based ones. Then that's easy to understand. Like the water-based is normally for an oily skin type, and then the one that's really rich is normally for a dry skin type. It could be for a mature skin type. Then you get the one that's just a regular liquid foundation, which is more for normal skin type, sometimes normal oily, sometimes normal dry. Then you have, of course, you have the powder creams as well, and you have the cream compacts. So you have the cushions. Then, like we can even go into, what, I'm not even going to go into that one because I'll leave that one for another topic. I haven't said it. You may have guessed what I was going to say, but I haven't said it. But I will go into that for another conversation, another topic sometime. But for foundations, I believe that is it. I hope I covered everything regarding the foundation. But I do believe that for me, the most important thing that I wanted to get across in this message is undertone. That was my main purpose. The crux of this message is about the undertones and getting the right undertone, and then after that, and also going one shade down, because everything you apply to your skin afterwards is going to bring your complexion back up to its normal coloring. So that's all I have to say for this segment of a Makeup Minute. And I will be back soon. Hopefully it'll be skincare, but the makeup one, this foundation one, I wanted to talk on it. It wouldn't leave me after I did the lipstick one. So I wanted to talk on it first. So anyway, until next time, take care. Bye-bye.